Hi, welcome to my chenille. I'm in a different little setting today. I have a sandwich and I have chips. I just came back from the gym. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to be eating chips, but I want to, so leave me alone. I just want to say that if you guys are like interested in the more depressing topics, I think I will make more videos on like my personal life a little more when I feel like that it's a good time to, or when I'm in the mood to. But I think I'm gonna try and make more upbringing videos, not really like sad videos. Of course, if I'm feeling a little bit down and something happens, I'm obviously gonna like go on and rant about it. But for now, we're just gonna kind of like stir the boat another way. Now, there's nothing wrong with being, sad and explaining your feelings. I think that that's completely normal to do when you are, going through things and you just feel like you have no one to speak to. So like, I'm not saying that I'm never gonna do that again. I'm not gonna say that I'm never gonna get sad and record myself and post it, because that's just, I like doing that. I like explaining how I feel, and sometimes I don't really want an opinion. Sometimes I just want to talk to myself or talk to my camera and just say how I feel. And if I have an opinion, or if someone posts an opinion, if someone can relate or anything, then yeah, go ahead, comment. But if it's anything like, oh, we don't care, or oh, blah, 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 then get out of here about that. Anyway, I'm here to talk about a story that I've been wanting to share. It's about the time that I got scammed. Well, almost scammed. I almost pretty much did get scammed, but I caught it right before I was able to, do anything or whatever, give this guy money. So I was thinking during the summer, I work for a school, so I don't work during the summer, and I'm off for 2 months. So I was thinking maybe I should get a part-time job, and I kind of got this part-time. I was thinking about it way too late when I was already about to start work again, but I was like, you know what, why not? Let me just look. And I was looking on, and my mom actually sent me a dog walker position. And I was like, okay, I'll apply for that. Whatever, who cares? So I applied to it the same day that she sent me the application. And I applied to it on Indeed. Yes, Indeed is a very popular, little area where people apply for jobs. So I applied a couple days, the next day, I got, no, was it the same? I think it was the same day. I got an email saying that my application was received and it's going to be overlooked or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Didn't think anything of it, because Indeed always does that. But then, the next or 2 days afterwards, or no, it was like a day after, I got an email saying, if you're still interested, I'm talking too fast. If you're still interested in this position, go ahead and email this email. And I'm going to expose the name because I want everyone to know, because this has happened to a lot of people with this same person, okay? This is a big scam. His name, the email was like Brian Lang and blah, 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 something else. And so I emailed it, because I was like, okay, well, I'm still interested, so I'm going to email this email and be like, hi, I'm still interested in the position, blah, 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 blah. That's what I said. I did. I emailed and I said I was still interested. I was still interested in the position, and boom, I sent it. Then it took like a couple days, I think 2 days this time. It took like 2 days, and I received an email back, this long paragraph from this man named Brian Lang. And he was like, hello. He was telling me a little bit about himself, a little bit like of his wife died due to breast cancer. He has 2 dogs. He even sent pictures of these dogs. He explained what I would be doing, or what he needs out of me. And I was like, okay, it sounds normal. You know what I mean? And then he also said, like, can I get a reference? Can I get your full name? And so I gave him all that. I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool, So I did all that. I gave him a reference, my coworker, And the next day at like 11 o'clock, he emailed me back. And he didn't really say like if I was hired or not. He never said like, oh, you got the position. You know what I mean? We never had an interview. We never had a Zoom meeting. We never had anything. So all this was like via email. And he was like, so after the email that I sent him, he also wanted a picture of me. So I sent that. And he was basically saying that he's relocating to my area and that he needs like, he's going to be doing all these things. And he's going to be moving and buying stuff for his dogs and yeah, all that jazz. And the next email basically explained a little more of that and how much I would get paid and how like he would need me to run errands for him and buy stuff for his dogs, and he's gonna like send me money, a $4,000 check, and that I would be receiving $49 of it, and that would be my paycheck, and then the other money would be for his dogs in his house. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. He's giving me $4,000. We haven't even met yet. That was running through my mind. I was like, we haven't even met. Like, how does he trust me? Like, I could be a thief. You know what I mean? I could be a scammer, and I could just be like, you know what? I'm gonna take his money and not do anything for him. You know what I mean? But I forgot to mention that when he sent me that first email, he said he was the director and chairman of Comcast. And I searched him up because I had my suspicions, you know what I mean? I did search him up, Brian Lang, and he came up Comcast. He came up and he was there. He looked like a normal dude, you know what I mean? It's a big company. I thought it was normal, and I was like, okay, he's real. At least he's real. And like, you know, I searched up his full name and nothing came up as like scams, nothing. And finally, so that after that email, he was telling me about the check that he's sending me and how much I'd be paid for an hour, what, oh my God, I can't speak today. How much I would get paid an hour. And after that, I was like, okay, just let me know. He's like, okay, the check will be there about like next week, next Monday or Friday. Or this Friday or next Monday. And I was like, okay. So I was going through with this. Like, I was like, okay, like, I don't know, you know, maybe every job's different. Maybe their hiring process is different. I don't know. I told my mom about this, about how it was going. And, you know, I was excited. He sent me pictures of the dogs. They were named Zeus and something else. I forgot. I'm even gonna put the emails up so you guys can see what he said. In case any of y'all run into this, I'm gonna put it in this video for y'all. I'm gonna put it like right here, or I'm gonna put it in the just like another cut. My mom was sitting there, I was sitting here. And we're just catching up. She was like, hey, I remember the last time you talked to me, you said, last time you told me you received the email back. And I was like, oh yeah, I did. So, the guy's like coming to this location, and he's moving back into this area, and he needs me to like help him buy stuff for his house and his dogs. And he's going to send me a $4,000 check. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I know it is kind of like weird, but he's sending me $4,000 for like, I guess $840 of it is mine. And then like the rest of the amount is for the dogs in his house. And she's like, why is he sending you $4,000? Like, have you guys had an interview? Like, have you met him before? Like, do you know what he looks like, sounds like? And I'm like, no. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, is that, like, I know it's kind of weird, but like, I mean, he is moving. What am I supposed to do? Like, be like, oh, where are you? I'll just go over there. And she was like, why is he paying you if you haven't even worked yet? And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I said. That's what I was thinking. I really don't know. And she was like, can I see the email? And I was like, okay. So I handed her my phone. I showed her the email. And she was like, huh, this is sketch. And I'm like, she's like, is it just weird? She's like, usually, like, there's some type of interview, some type of, like, one-on-one, like, but, like, why would he be sending you a check if you haven't even met the dogs or, like, did any work? And I'm like, I don't know. He is moving into the area, so I have no clue. And she was like, what's his name again? She handed me the phone at this time. And she was like, what's his name again? And I was like, Brian Lang. And she was like, okay. So she got her phone. She searched up Brian Lang. And for some reason, when she searched it up on her phone, a bunch of scam trackers popped up. And it was the same exact freaking email that I had received this entire time. All the emails that I had been receiving was exactly the same as the scam. And I was so embarrassed. I was humiliated. I was like, are you kidding me? And my mom was like, look, he's everywhere. That is the same exact email that you've been receiving. All your emails are the same as here. And I'm like, oh my God. Keep in mind, I gave this man or woman my address, my name, my age. He knows what I look like. I gave him my coworker's phone number and name. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, are you actually serious right now? I felt so embarrassed. I was like, how did I not like figure that out in my brain? I searched his name up on Safari, Google, to make sure he was an actual person. And for some reason, my phone didn't show me anything of no scam. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting scammed right now. And I have a check of $4,000. Who knows if it's actually coming to my house. And I was just mind boggled. I was upset because I wanted a part-time job and I thought I was actually going to get one. I was going to get paid bank from that guy because he was saying he was going to pay me $35 an hour. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a dog walker for the rest of my life if I'm getting paid that much. It was just too good to be true. And that's, I guess, what I failed to realize is that when it's too good to be true, it's usually not, it's not it. You know what I mean? And like, I guess like, you know, we didn't do an interview. So I guess that's like one of the main things as well. And a $4,000 check before you even work is obviously suspicious, but my brain like didn't register that for some reason. And I thought it was weird, but of course he had already given me a pretty valid excuse. He was like, oh, well, I'm not in town and I'm moving and I'm working with my agency and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that sounds realistic to me. I'm just like, okay. But yeah. So when I found out that I was being scammed, I was sitting here and I had immediately started emailing him and I was like, can we do a Zoom meeting? I was like, can we do a Zoom meeting or can we like somehow like call on the phone? Because I just looked online and your name came up in the scam tracker. So if this is a scam, I don't want any part of it. And that's what I said. And I sent it to him. And after that, I mean, I received no email back. You know, he was responding to me quite quick when I was, you know, responding to his emails. But, you know, as soon as I said that, he was like silent, didn't say anything else. And yeah, By the way, I did receive the check. The check came in the week after that. Or yeah, the next week. And it was a sus check. And it was the same exact amount he told me that he was gonna send. And I was like, oh my God, it actually came. It actually came. The mailman came up to the door and he gave it to my mom was there, and she because you had to sign for it because it was a check, I guess, because it was an important mail. And so we had to sign for it. And I mean, thankfully we were there when the guy was there. And I think I wasn't gonna answer the door, or I think he was trying to knock on the door, we didn't hear it, and then I saw him walking away, and I was like, oh wait, he was trying to like deliver something to us. And I said, Mom, someone's trying to he's trying to deliver something to us. Oh my God, I can't speak today. And she was like, oh my God, let me go get him. And we stopped him, and he came back with the mail. It was like a big package and had one little check in it. And we signed for it. We opened it. My mom was like, it's the check. And I was like, for real? And she was like, yes, there's a check in here. And I'm like, oh my God, let me see. So I took the check out. I didn't take a picture of it. I should have. But it looked like a normal check, but it looked really sus because it had a complete different company on it. Weird names, I didn't even recognize what the names were. And it had $4,000 something on it. It was like $4,035. And it was, yeah. They actually sent me a check. I mean, like, imagine if I thought it was real. Because I would have thought it was real. I would have thought it was real. I have never, ever been scammed on Indeed. And I didn't even think you could get scammed on Indeed because it's a job website where you're looking for jobs. But I guess you can, which I didn't know. But yeah, that's literally the story of me being scammed. Almost scammed, pretty much. I was really embarrassed. I was humiliated. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we caught it, because I would have lost my money. I would have been scammed. I would have had to go through all these crazy things that, that happens when you get scammed, or if you do accept a bad check and stuff. So I'm really glad that my mom was at least able to catch it before anything happened, because that check was coming, and it did come, and I would have thought it was a real check. Was mind-boggling because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost got scammed. But again, I am still kind of young. Yeah, I am young. I'm still learning. So like, I guess the moral of the story is to be careful. Even if it looks like a reliable source, make sure, be sketch of everything that you see or read or hear. But yes, that is my story. I really don't have a lot of crazy stories. I could say some. I have to think of stuff because I really don't know. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. I have a lot of ideas in mind, and I do kind of want to include my family members in this. So, in my next ideas coming up in my brain. So I hope that'll fall through, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really sad. But or I'll just do it alone. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my lunch, and I'm gonna